Ever feel like your goals keep slipping out of reach? What if I told you there's a reason behind it? Stay tuned, you won't believe how common this problem is. Now let me introduce you to an incredible founder who's tackling this very issue, Archit Anand. With a background as a software engineer, Archit has a unique ability to blend technology with real-world needs. He's on a mission to help DTC founders make decisions 100 times faster using AI. After successfully launching a company that made powerful tools accessible to e-commerce sellers, he noticed a big problem. Online retailers were struggling to understand their own profitability. That's when he decided to create Fuelgrowth. Curious about how Archit figured out a way to help brand owners optimize their costs and focus on what really matters? You won't want to miss what's coming next. Today we'll dive into Archit's journey from building his first startup to tackling the challenges DTC brands face today. He'll share insights on using AI for industry growth, the lessons learned from his experiences, and how he's navigating the crowded tech space. Get ready for some valuable takeaways. Archit Anand has figured out some key tricks for growing his new startup, Fuelgrowth. He realized businesses spend tons on gaining customers, but often overlook optimizing their growth. By using AI, he's making it easier for brands to create effective content and track performance. Archit focuses on quick experiments to see what works best, which helps him adapt without wasting time. Plus, he keeps things transparent with clients, offering month-to-month contracts instead of long commitments. This way, if things don't work out, customers can leave easily. You can learn a lot from his approach to scaling a business smartly. Welcome to the Founder Show, the ultimate podcast for startups and visionaries. Today, we're thrilled to welcome Archit Anand, our amazing founder. Here, we don't just share stories, we bring them to life for over 100,000 subscribers and across all major social media platforms. Whether you're just starting out or ready to scale, we're here to help you connect, inspire, and grow. So without further ado, let's get started. Hey Archit, how's it going?
Hey,
Can you
what's
hear me?
up? Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. How are you doing?
Good, bro. What's happening?
Good. Where
What
are
is?
you based? Are you in SF or? Yeah,
No. I'm not permanently based in SF. I'm still pretty much moving between cities, so it's Bangalore, Singapore, and SF right now. So
got it.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
So where are you now?
And I'm calling you from SF here.
Oh, nice, nice.
Ha.
Awesome, man. It's been a while, like since we
How
actually
many
caught
years?
up. How many
7, 8
years,
years?
right?
Yeah.
20, 2017, I guess, when we were in Enchanto, right? Together.
So I left Enchanto, I think end of 2018, early 2019, and began my first journey like you. I was bootstrapping pretty much most of it. Building a We started building an omni-channel loyalty rewards platform for larger retailers, which were a little bit omni-channel in nature. So larger brands and stuff. So didn't really move away from the industry where what we were doing at Enchanto back then. So, but then I found that okay, there's a gap which a player like Enchanto doesn't really fill. And these guys need to sort of are looking for solutions which might not be tailored for, let's say, a Southeast Asian retailer as such. So built out a platform, bootstrapped it, got brands like Lacoste, Marks and Spencer, Gap, Kana de Kana, thoda bahut, in Southeast Asia.
Nice.
I was there in Southeast Asia till COVID hit, and then moved back to India. Was remote, basically with my family. Wherever my dad was moving around for job, I was moving around with him as well. Stayed with him for a year and a half. And that time we were somewhere very remote in UP and then somewhere very remote in Odisha. And then I moved to Bangalore for a year or two as well. I felt like, okay, the journey with my first startup, I think we became number two or number one in Philippines back then, around 500 odd retailers in our platform, on our platform, and did okayish, profitable business. There was some interest of strategic angel investors putting money here and there as well. Um, but then the challenge over there was that okay, how do we scale it beyond, let's say, our initial markets? How do we sort of expand it, make it a venture size business, um, all of that, right? So then I think I didn't really have clear cut answers back then. Decided to okay, pause, take a pause for a while, figure out what I really want to do. Informed my team about it. I think we scaled down our team drastically from around 20 odd people to around 4 or 5 people. Told them okay. This happened before the whole uh, recession which hit in 2022, right? So the team was able to get a job. Pretty much everyone got a job within 2 weeks of me informing them. So उस हिसाब से बच गए. The team didn't really face
Hmm.
consequences. And
Nice.
salary बढ़ी गई उनकी सबकी. So I think they were pretty happy. Um, and
Yeah.
then and then yeah, I
Probably
mean
they're
to run
making more money than you right now.
pretty much, pretty much. I think everyone's making more money than me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the reality of a
That
founder.
that's how it works, right? So we couldn't time. So I think again, with that particular product, we got some offers, but they were more not cash acquisition offers. They were more equity acquisition offers and co-founding roles in Series B, Series A companies, sort of those kind of offers. Wasn't super excited about either of them. Just decided to continue making profits out of the business till I can. Um, and then so that way is still running in a way, profitable, paying for whatever I'm doing right now. And then now still wanted to stay in the same journey, understood that particular market pretty well, figured okay, this is a pain point which I want to solve for. And then yeah, I think eventually saw that okay, money is being spent over here. There is a use case for bringing tech and improving performance and efficiencies over here. What is the current state of art happening? Can we improve that and build something which is better than what is current state of art? Um, Found some answers that yes, it's possible. Work with some design partners. So that's where we are. Pretty much raise some money uh, from an accelerator like yourself as well. Got some further commitments for the next round as well, but we'll see if when we want to do it, how we want to time it. And at the moment, pretty much exploring how to sort of bring this whole thing to the US market. That's why I'm here at the moment.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And is it
yeah,
the
yeah.
same startup that you've been working on, or it's like a different company now?
Fuel growth. That's pretty much.
Feel good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Fuel growth is the second startup, right? First one was OmniRio. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah,
And what
yeah.
happened to that startup? Like, is it still operating now?
It's
Like, it's
it's
just
still
like
operating.
that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still
Hmm.
operating, profitable, pays for my lifestyle and sort of what I do. Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. And what does it do exactly, like your other startup? Um,
It's it's a loyalty. You can say a loyalty platform. So Lacoste, Marks and Spencer, Gap, New Era, Giordano, Puma, a few other brands in Philippines use us to run their entire loyalty reward program. Omni-channel. We sync into POS. We sync into .coms. Um, White labeled loyalty reward program for them. Um, as we've I think you and I have been part of these loyalty programs ourselves when we go shopping for brands we like.
hmm.
Pretty much that. Nothing out of the world.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And is
Just
it
build
like a
a
B2B SaaS?
B2B SaaS, white labeled SaaS for these
Hmm.
guys. Nothing out on the cloud. Everything's pretty straightforward. You plug in your rule engine. You plug in. We've also built some rewards and marketing automations internally over there, and rule-based point calculation, all of that is there, pretty much standard.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Pretty cool.
everything gets plugged into the brand's infrastructure, so people don't know whether it's OmniRio or anyone else. They'll only see the brand everywhere
Hmm.
else. Yeah,
Gotcha. Awesome. And did you
yeah.
build it yourself, or like you have like a co-founder or someone that built it?
No,
Because
no,
I
no.
remember
I
like a business guy, right?
so I have tech background, but yeah, I mean, I don't code right now. So I've had tech teams build this out, and yeah, I had a co-founder with OmniRio as well. I have a co-founder in Fuelgrowth as well, a tech co-founder. So I prefer going that route rather than trying to build it out myself. That's
Absolutely. Awesome.
easier,
And
yeah.
what is Fuel Growth about like, and how did you ended up like starting this new brand, Fuel Growth? And what does it do?
Yeah, so fuel growth, I mean, the whole again, we wanted to see, okay, what can I build which can be at a global level. I don't want to build something very niche at a Southeast Asia level and then realize that, okay, you know what, like I built something which works over here, but then again, how do I take it global? I was looking at some options of building a venture scale sort of business. I felt like I still am young, have the energy to sort of go that route again. Um, and again, did some research, figured that okay, now I want to build something in growth and um, in growth for brands or businesses overall. Okay, businesses spend more money in acquisition and growth rather than like in operations or loyalty or reward, was my understanding. So very basic understanding. Say started doing some research, spoke to a lot of people, figured out okay the whole performance marketing game on Meta TikTok is completely changing. The game is now more and more on content.
Hmm.
And I felt like content creation has never been changed. And then I felt like, okay, that's where we can let's do some experiments on how we can leverage AI on content creation, but not just content creation, but can we also attach a layer of performance to building all these content? So we've gone to as much depth as possible on how a certain content really spreads, what are the breaking down pieces of all the content which are created, why does a content work, why does a content not work, and sort of built an intelligence layer around it, and then leverage multiple models internally. So it's a yeah, I mean it's we're building AI agents overall, multiple AI agents to sort of do this work for us. The overall plan is to maybe some I don't know exactly what were you doing at Standout? Like was it a agency for B2C businesses or a B2B or an agency for a B2B business?
So the previous standard was like a B2B typical marketing, service
Okay.
in,
Hmm.
agency. But the second one, we were doing a lot of performance marketing on Meta ads. So
So
we were
so
running ads on Meta,
you would know it
selling the
pretty well, yeah. So, but basically that,
absolutely,
but doing
yeah,
it through AI agents, majority through AI agents,
gotcha.
and then filling in the gap through humans right now. So that's what we are building at Fuel Growth. So maybe if you were to do Standout today, and take an approach where you want it to be a SaaS, but with an agency sort of outputs, right? Pretty much like what you're doing with, let's say, an Avaz, where instead of being a BPO where people are calling, you are sort of saying that, okay, I'll building a technology product which will then call, right? So,
Hmm.
I mean, something similar, right? So you've now gotten into sales, which I was into, and I've now sort of gotten into performance marketing, which you were into. So we've exchanged a little bit of the
Gotcha.
roles over
So
there, but
how
yeah,
so
similar
so
sort
you're,
of outputs. Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're enabling basically non-marketers to be able to run performance marketing and solving the content creation and distribution, right?
I'm
End to
not
end. Is
I'm
that
I'm not building no, I'm not building for content for non-marketeers. So that's
okay?
not my persona.
Hmm.
My persona is very straightforward. I'm building for the P&L leaders. And I'm basically what a marketing agency does is my pitch is pretty similar. Like, okay, I've built these agents, and we'll basically come in, do an audit, sort of see, okay, where are you spending more? How can we optimize and fix all the leakages? And then use our AI agents to sort of do rapid experimentation around content and scale it up. So for you, and so
Hmm.
we've
Interesting.
our entire play is that um, there is someone looking.
Optimization, basically.
Yeah, entire optimization. Nobody can optimize it better than us. That's our entire play,
Hmm.
and you have multiple people looking after your business 24/7 rather than having to rely on an agency who is stretched to deliver your outputs. And then again, initially, of course, we'll have to sort of give them deals, which I also believe in a way that we want to be that anti-agency in this market in a way, right? So we want to do everything in a very different way than what agencies have traditionally done, tie a customer up into a long-term contract. We don't want to tie you up in a long-term contract. We want to make it extremely transparent around what we do rather than hiding what we are doing and just giving you outputs in Excel sheets. So making it extremely transparent for them. So becoming an anti-agency in a way and trying
Mm,
to disrupt this entire market. Yeah.
gotcha.
So if you
Interesting.
don't perform, move out within the end of that month. You don't need to commit for long-term commitments. The whole idea is that the engine has to work. If the engine doesn't work, you can move out whenever you want.
Mm,
Yeah.
interesting. And who are like the typical users like of your
Similar brands
sort of
like who we were selling to at
brands?
Enchanto. Enchanto पे brands को इतना वैसे नहीं थे यार. I think वो 3PLs को बेच रहे थे उस time पे. But yeah, same customers who I was selling to in through my journey in OmniRio, through my journey back then as well. So bigger brands who have decent decent budgets, but also Shopify brands and stuff like that. We'll also get into Amazon as well, Amazon ads and stuff at a
Mm,
later stage. But yeah, I mean this entire consumer business ecosystem is what we are targeting right now. So working with we are while we are building this like an anti-agency, now agencies are also coming to us saying that we want to become AI-fied in a way where we want to
mm,
have an AI backbone. So there are a few agencies who we are deploying our tech into as well.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Awesome,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Great.
yeah. So चल रहा है ये सभी चल रहा है यार.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah,
From
yeah, yeah,
Enchanto to Fuel Growth, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Life moves on, man. Yeah, yeah.
And how's
Absolutely.
SF been for you like so far? How long have you been there uh,
No,
for
so I
now?
haven't been here all the time, yeah. So I think when we were chatting and when you landed in SF, I was just here for a few more days. I didn't go to LA. I decided
Mm,
not to go to LA. I um, took a week to sort of sit down with my team back in India as well. We had to do some stuff and release some stuff. Went over to Seattle. My Masi lives there. So just wanted to narrow down my focus and not be distracted with all these smaller events happening here and there and running around.
right.
In a way,
Yeah.
doesn't yield to
Yeah.
a lot of things. Lost
It's
out
a
about.
lot of distraction. Yeah.
Exactly,
Seriously.
exactly. Then I
You
went to
cannot
New York.
work. Yeah. When
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have these events
exactly.
going on. Yeah.
Then I went to New York for a week. I think I felt like New York is a good market. And then I went over to my uncle. My mama lives in Florida, so I said, okay, Diwali in Florida then. From there, and
Nice.
then Diwali ke baad I came back to SF, where I'm meeting people again here and there. And yeah, I'll be back in Bangalore on Monday. So this is sort of the end of the trip for this year. I'll be back
Oh,
in third week of Jan. I'll be back over here for a few months. Yeah.
and are you like raising money for this new startup, or you planning to bootstrap it? What's your like take on that?
Uh,
Mm,
yeah, we'll raise money. So yeah, not in a hurry. We don't really need money right now. I think there are some fundamentals which need to be fixed in the business before we really deploy cash in a proper way. So yeah,
mm,
heading back to India for 2 months just to sort of get all of those things in place, and then like finish the round, come back to SF in a way for a month. But yeah, I think I might spend more time in New York, moving next from next year. I think that's a larger market for us overall as well. So we'll see.
yeah, I
I'm
guess
also
for marketing.
bringing
Oh, sorry.
so yeah, I'm talking to people in the US, trying to bring them in as consultants and sort of advisors as well, with some targets, uh,
Mm,
sort of modeling our remunerations for them in that way. Hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have 3 people working for us in that capacity over here in the US.
I feel the AI space is also getting very crowded. Like there's so many guys building an AI. Like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
YC portfolio companies are building an AI agent for X, Y, and Z. You know.
100%.
So
Yeah, I mean,
you,
no, I'm not getting into that. That's a separate thing altogether,
mm,
right? I'm over here. I'm
right.
just talking about fundamental psychology.
Mm,
Um, but uh, but yeah, as you said, that's very accurate as well. I think, especially in
true.
the sales wala domain, so it's becoming too much. I feel like everyone's trying to build an
Yeah.
AI SDR. Everyone's trying to build an AI powered something for B2B SaaS
True.
companies, all of that. and it's easy to do
Yeah.
that in SF. When you live here, you see why some companies build products for B2B SaaS companies, because that ecosystem is here. You can do a quick 0 to 1 over here, raise some money from YC, do a quick 0 to 1, do a seed,
Right.
Series A, get that journey pretty quick, and then either you sort of go bonkers, become a unicorn, or you go bust. There's only two-way
Mm,
over here, right?
right.
Um, yeah. So I mean, for us, then it became a point where, okay, do we really want to? We are doing this. Yes, fundamentally, we feel like this is the future. A lot of people will want to sort of get into this arms race. But at the same time, like, what do we really want to do? Like, fundamentally, at a business level, what do we really want to do, rather than just getting into this arms race? So
Mm,
that's why um, I've been taking some pauses as well. I'm not just blindly running in this arms
yeah.
race just because other people are doing this. So I'm trying to resist this whole temptation of that whole herd mentality, and sort of doing what
Yeah.
blindly others are doing. So it's difficult
I mean,
with all the
with
noise.
with open with
Yeah, yeah,
OpenAI's every new feature, like I think hundreds of startups are just dying like that, right? I mean, so I think we gotta be little like careful and slow in terms of the next move and how the market is eventually evolving in this space, because a lot of
true.
guys are like, they already have distribution, they have the network. For instance, like Salesforce, they launched their own AI agent now. They killed
Uh,
all the AI SDR startups, right? And they have all the distribution mechanism, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
how do you compete with them, right? I mean, um, I don't know, like that is
Yeah,
one. And
HubSpot, Salesforce, HubSpot. I feel like HubSpot is sort of winning this race right now. I like the guy a
mm,
lot. Um, I follow him a lot. I think, I mean, Anthropic is doing some remarkable work as well. I don't know, man, like
yeah,
where this whole thing is going.
right.
I just feel like you need to be pretty astute in today's world. I'm sort of going the other route compared to you in a way, where you were coming from an agency to now building a software, and I'm going the other route completely, where, okay, I've been in the software part, and I feel like agency is a much more safer route to go right now than the
Mm,
software route.
right.
Fundamentally, I just don't like the agency business. I feel like it has to be technology business. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm still not 100% convinced on which is the right way or wrong, but I just feel fundamentally it's a more safer route to go.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Because, yeah, I think it's a more cash flow business as well. With the agency route, you can build like strong, cash flows around it, and not be just like driven through product, and technology.
I but then at the
Right?
same time, it's a slow growth business as well, right? It's not going to be a high growth business, because for
True.
someone to leave an agency and go to a new agency is not the quickest decision. You know that, you've been in that part,
Mm,
or else you get stuck in
absolutely.
that whole cycle where you are just working with extremely small businesses and becoming their first agency in a way. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it is an interesting sort of play. We are trying to figure out what experiments work in our GTM as well, while we build our
Mm.
products. So we'll do some quick experiments in our GTM, see, okay, which one's giving us good results, what's not giving us good results. Take some take some cues from there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Are you ready for the venture game? Like it's gonna be a 10-year journey, man. That's what they're saying. I mean, 10 years, you just gotta be like, like a sheep, into that startup, and that's gonna be your life.
It is in a way already, yeah. I mean,
It is
I don't
already.
really,
Mm,
I don't think about it too much that way. I think venture money has to be used properly. For me, it's about solving few things right now. I think there are some top of the mind items which I'm thinking about. This whole ready for venture game 10 years, 20 years, तो उसके बाद ही आएगा. पहले basics fundamentals तो fix कर लेते हैं ना. Like then we can think about that.
yeah,
Like
absolutely. Yeah,
build a business which is worthy staying for 10 years first. Then figure out, do you really
correct.
want to stay 10 years or not, right? I think
Mm,
that's second level question for me. Uh,
true.
I mean, मजा आएगा कुछ करने में तो why not यार? Like do something which is fun, do something which is nice. At the same time,
Yeah,
have some routines in life as well. Yeah. So yeah. So I try to have some routines in life apart from just getting into this whole uh thing, but it is what it is. Yeah, I feel like, yeah. I mean, I started Fuelgrowth because I wanted to get into the whole venture journey. I felt like I want
Mm.
to go that route. I want to see what that journey looks like. So yeah, we'll see, man. Like
Yeah,
I will have a not a typical venture journey, which is already the case because it's been some time since we started. The typical venture journey would have been pre-seed, seed quickly, scale up,
mm.
go bust. I've seen people start after me have already gone bust, raising few $1 million. Few of my friends have done that. So
Mm.
I feel like, yeah, ये सब जो announcements होती हैं venture fundraise and all, not an indicator of whether a startup is doing well or not. So just mute them off.
Absolutely not.
Don't get
Yeah,
if a competitor raises money doesn't mean they've figured things out. That's a very different thing.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, if they're raising it too soon, too much, means there's something wrong, because why are they raising so much,
yeah.
right?
Exactly. So I mean,
Right?
while
Yeah.
it becomes it's a point where okay, yeah, too much noise, too much PR, everything, everyone's talking about your competitor, but I mean, at the same time, just be very disciplined and patient in your journey as well. I think it's difficult to do.
Absolutely.
A lot of people lose their mind when these things happen, but
Mm.
I mean, yeah, it's not easy. Why did you get into Avaz here? Like, what happened? Why leave the marketing thing and then get into sales agents, banana yourself?
So what happened, no, like all the startups I was running, right? I think one thing I hated the most, and I've been like mostly in the tech space, right, throughout my
Mhm.
career. And I've
Mhm.
seen this huge problem in the education space. They have hundreds of salespeople who are making hundreds of calls every day, and the
Mhm.
CAC numbers are too high. And there's a reason why none of the edtech companies in India are like profitable businesses, right?
Right.
Take Byju's, take Upgrad, Urban Pro. I was heading marketing for them. There's like a whole floor of sales guys.
Mhm. Mhm.
So when I moved to Brazil, like before I started something called as Retainer. It was like a B2B SaaS, like a Shopify for online service
Okay.
agencies,
Uh-huh.
helping them with their like white label solution, where they
Nice.
can SaaSify their website and all that. Um, Again, the problem was like, how do you sell a like $1,000 a month product without having a sales guy? And we hired some salespeople, didn't work out. And then my co-founder had a lot of friends around him in Brazil who are also running small businesses, and they
Mhm.
all have the sales problem. They all have these products, services, but they all
Okay.
struggle with. I think that's where the whole problem started building up. Can we solve the sales problem efficiently without having to like, hire people and manage them?
Mhm.
And and this another reason I Enchanter was because I didn't want to do sales, right?
Right.
I wanted to do marketing, and I was more like product marketing, digital, laptop in my life.
Ha.
So
True.
it was boiling like from all that experiences, right? So then we found a product, we saw something going on in the market. We're like, can we build it? We tried using it, it didn't solve the problem we were facing. So then we built a better version of what was already out there. And today we're focused on outbound sales and lead qualification. And we have like clients who are able to like 5x their, efficiency with our product. So
Mhm.
they're seeing like 10% conversions on say outbound sales calls, and that is cold calls, and then 20% on warm leads, right? So that's how it all started. Completely product led. We've not spent a dollar on marketing. All the customers we have been just through word of mouth, and a lot of word of mouth, SEO, and all that stuff that is bringing people in. Um, and most of our users are also in the education space, so they are using it
Okay, so
for
you're leveraging that experience. Okay. Yeah,
uh,
makes sense.
so like inviting people for webinars, reminding them for the webinars, and eventually following up with them after
Mhm.
selling high ticket coaching program. So yeah, it's been accumulation of all of that, and we are using it for our own product too. So when someone goes on our website and tries to sign up, after 15 minutes he gets a call from an AI who actually asks them all these questions. Hey, what are you doing? What's your business about? How much revenue you're building? Blah blah blah. And we populate everything on our spreadsheet, because it's all like
Yeah.
transcribed and automated. And we built a lot of workflow automation around it. So built it like a very no code software that anyone can get started.
Right.
without any technical difficulties. So that's how it all started. But yeah, we're trying to like also innovate it to an extent where we are building strong moats and strong differentiators and defensibility around the market, because a lot of people are doing this today, and
Mm.
that's one of the things that we're trying to solve. So we're trying to verticalize it. Today we are very horizontal, trying to verticalize it into one space, which is probably like webinar education space. Um, and build like a more integrated, end-to-end solution around it.
Makes sense,
So
yeah.
so that way we could get our first mill out of that specific niche market, right? Um, that's going to be probably our ICP as well. So
Makes sense.
so so we're in that stage, like just like you trying to figure out those fundamental,
Mm-hmm.
areas and
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I think we are further away. We have not figured out yet where who will be that 1 mil wala niche. We haven't really done that. So I think we'll do that in the next 4 or 5 months. But
hmm,
we're looking at larger ticket sizes in general. So in
gotcha.
general, yeah, I think so. We'll see. We'll
The
see
like
how and
enterprise B2B, are you doing
yeah,
that
yeah,
enterprise?
enterprises directly.
You're the
So
enterprise guy, man. I remember you used to walk into these big offices in Singapore and all these warehouses and just like walk like a boss and sell the
mm,
product.
no, 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 no. You're being kind, but
No, like I learned that from you. Like I went, to some meetings and I was like, oh, this is how it's done. I'm
I
like
had
the
I
super
had no
small.
idea, man. Nobody taught me. I was a computer science engineer,
Right.
who did a small MBA course, trying to just figure out what to do. I was enjoying it at the back then, I think, but yeah, I think uh, at the end of the day, I feel like the faster matlab, for me, it comes a point where I feel like if you are on the 0 to 1 mil journey, you will eventually have to figure out a niche. Otherwise, you will never get that journey
Yeah.
itself, right? So the faster you get out of this whole 0 to 1 wala journey, the better it is, man. Otherwise, this is like a black hole which everyone sort of gets sucked into, and we've become
Hmm.
fundamentally too much ki oh ye niche figure out kar lete hain, ye kar lete hain, wo kar lete hain, which I feel like I've been getting
Hmm.
into for the last 1 year.
Hmm.
Just trying to remind myself to not get into this now and just focus fundamentally on building a business. I think बाकी सब fundamentally हो जाएगा. अगर revenue नहीं आ रहा तो business ही नहीं है यार. क्या niche कर लोगे, क्या fundamental कर
Hmm.
लोगे, right? So for
But
me
that
right
is
now
something
it's
that VCs would ask you, right?
yeah
And that
VCs
is
ठीक
how
है
you
यार
should do,
VCs में
like,
से I know I agree with you
uh,
but I mean like अगर पहले तो solve for bringing revenue in
hmm,
then figure out कि हाँ मुझे revenue क्यों आ रहा है, like those questions come in once you sort of get revenue. Okay, this piece of revenue is more scalable. Then you start taking some bets, right? Like there has to be
hmm,
something going on in the business. So abhi fundamentally I'm not trying to be very anal about मुझे niche पकड़नी है, ये करना है, वो करना है. At
hmm,
the moment today I'm sort of spreading myself out horizontally, want to onboard people, then figure out, go more in depth. But I also feel
hmm,
कि हमारा like the whole engine which we are building, at the moment I have no clue of what niche can we build in terms of the verticalization of verticalization. It's a consumer
hmm,
focused optimization engine for these. I think once we sort of start getting few customers beyond our persona of D2C market, then maybe we'll realize okay no, जो product बना है वो D2C के लिए बना है, वो दूसरों के लिए नहीं
hmm.
बना हुआ है, right? अभी तो
Yeah,
अभी हमको नहीं पता है कि किसके लिए बना है, अभी मार्केट ही वही पता है खाली, तो कस्टमर्स भी वहीं से आए.
correct.
हाँ, so अभी
Absolutely.
तो दूसरा मार्केट पता ही नहीं है. I don't know anyone in edtech. I can't go and sell to
Hmm,
someone who's selling to webinar because like you, we haven't really spent a dollar on marketing yet or anything at the moment. And yeah, our founder network is not in that space either. I've got some investors who work in Shopify, stuff like that, blah blah blah. So
hmm.
I know this ecosystem pretty well, and so that's sort of where I've been building my business overall. And in the US as well, that's the ecosystem I'm targeting. I'm not going beyond that ecosystem
Absolutely.
in a way.
Makes sense,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Good
Cool,
to catch
man.
up with
Cheers,
you.
bro. Nice
Yeah,
talking to you, man. Yeah, you have a
yeah,
great stay and safe travels. And yeah, we'll be in touch.
yeah. Let's keep in touch, bro. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Awesome. All right.
bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Founder Show. If you enjoyed our chat today, please hit like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're a startup founder or know someone who is, we'd love to hear your story. Head over to founder.show and sign up to be featured. Keep dreaming big and see you next time.